Okay, finally. Fuck. Bastards. Bastards. Fucking Microsoft. Fucking Microsoft. Okay, let me gain my composure here, guys. Give me a second. I wasn't ready for this stress. 5 minutes of stress bullshit. Okay, let me just minimize some crap on my screen so I can. This kind of goes along with the thing. Okay. Let me just turn it off. See if you guys are still listening. Well, looks like we got a few people there. Jeez. You think, well, why didn't I check this before? Well, I didn't know that they were going to make me sign out and then get a code, and it's like everything was working just fine. Oh no, you got to sign out. Or we need to send you a code because this is sensitive information you're accessing. Fuck you, sensitive information. They act like they own this information, I swear. They really do. Your sensitive information, it's like your computer. They think they own it. I think the reason why they won't let me use my audio interface with my good microphone is it probably removes too much of the crap that I don't want them listening into, like background noises and little evidence of, oh, where is he? It's like it's a big detective novel. I want to know who's in the room. My back hurts. Ugh. If I was rich, I'd go see a chiropractor. All right. Let me start recording. Pricks. Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen D. Kelly, and this is the Stephen D. Kelly Show. We are TruthCat Radio, www.truthcatradio.com. Today is August 21st, 2025. Yes, I am speaking. Thank you very much, teams. No kidding, I'm speaking. God. Fucking Microsoft, I swear. Anyway. The show's running a little bit late because of Microsoft. All right, sorry. The title of tonight's show is The Intertel Pedophile Mafia. We have a lot of discuss. This, of course, is now going to be pretty important. Everything we do at this point now is going to be pretty important. And I got to tell you, it's all a matter of, I think we've got our magic golden bullet. I think we're killing them, but I got to tell you, when I'm, as long as I've been doing this, when I'm confronted with what I consider massive evil, just unspeakable evil or evil on a grand scale that I'm not ready for, like I am confronted with someone that I have to deal with that, owns shares of Raytheon or something like that, just really evil. And it sort of takes my speech away. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, and especially considering how long we've been doing this, but I got to tell you, that's kind of the way shock works. And I think the last show where it really kind of sunk in what's going on with Peter Thiel, and Palantir, and Elon Musk, and eBay, and Google, and PayPal, and every single one of these techno giants. The very fact that most of them are all based on stolen tech that happens to come from my family, that it all hits really close to home, and it takes a little while to, well, let's just say, process that information. I've got to dwell on it. By the way, I apologize for the background noise, the air conditioner. We're having a heat wave, significant heat wave. Oh yeah, and we're also having significant chemtrails. As much as I hate to deal with it, if you need anything to tell you how screwed up Trump is and how screwed up we are, as long as he's in there and everyone else in this mafia is involved, the chemtrails that we are experiencing, that you're experiencing, are, they are happening on a massive scale, but on top of that, they're happening everywhere. maybe not in Russia and China and places like that aren't controlled by the, you know, Intertel pedophile mafia. But if you are in territory controlled by said mafia, you're probably noticing ridiculous amounts of chemtrails coming down you. Now, for me, it's really sad because I monitor discussion groups that are outside of, my area, and it gives me a little bit of some feedback into your input into what's going on out there. But the people are talking about the chemtrails because you can't miss it. They're all over, everywhere, every single country. Seriously, non-Western, global South, whatever. They're going to town right now. Why are they doing that? Now, obviously, this is the next pandemic. We know that. In these discussion groups, I see that they go, well, there's the ones that say it's ice crystals and it's normal and jets just do this, and then there's the ones that say no, it's not, it's chemtrails, and then you try to say, well, I go in there and I say, well, everyone, you probably should start taking lysine, and next thing you know, people are saying, yeah, no, duh, geoengineering, big deal. I'm like, well, if you think it's just geoengineering, you're ignorant, because certainly they don't need barium titanate for geoengineering. Fascinating stuff. It's like trying to teach physics to animals or something. I don't know. It just can't be done. I don't want to dwell on that, but in a way, this one issue, which is in front of everyone's face, and it is real-time poisoning taking place right in front of us all, poisoning of not just us and our lungs, but everything else out there, the little animals and the plants and the water. It's all, seriously, one idiot says, well, if they wanted to kill us and poison us, they just poison the water. Gosh, how would they poison the water? I don't know. This brings me back to the medieval Europe when these woodcuts of these, guys in funny hats dumping poison into the well. That's an old trick. Come on. In the USA, we call that the pharmaceutical companies. But obviously, a lot of these components that they put into you require multiple components, and certainly a lot of this air dispersed stuff. It's funny because it's like it was only just a few days ago that Bill Gates came out and said that they were testing an aerosol vaccine. In other words, they've come up with a inhaled version of mind blank. So the aerosol mRNA, that's it, mRNA injection. It's happening. You're getting it, whether you like it or not, including all the animals and everything, too. Everything will be CRISPR, as they say. CRISPR all the things. That's what they're doing. Anyway, to me, when I see this going on, I see this as a direct response to what we just did. And the other thing I've noticed over the week since we've started this whole Intertel thing, which we're just beginning to really seize upon, and in a weak way somewhat. I don't think we've even begun to bring out the big guns and give them any sort of a good attack yet. I've been trying to dwell on it a little bit. I've been trying to think and plan because, like I said, this whole thing kind of screwed me up. And that kind of darkness makes me want to just go find a distraction, go put wax on the car or some stupid thing, rub on the rims, go sweep the garage, get away from the computer, just ignore it. It just gets too much. And I know that any of you that get exposed to this business, this stuff that I've been working on for so long, you get angry. And if you don't get angry, that's weird. But when you do get angry, half the time, it's hard to contain. You want to do something right now. You want to save those children. You want to get out and scream and do whatever. And this is all admirable, but we find it's so hard to do that. And you need to contain that. You need to channel it. And it's not easy. And I know so many of you are going through it. And yeah, I certainly go through it. But I want to say one thing I think that's kind of important, and that is that coming January will be the anniversary of the death of Lavoy Finicum. And if you don't know who he is, he's the guy from he was the so-called spokesperson of the uh, constitutionalist group that was involved in the, shall we say, occupation of a bird sanctuary in Utah. Anyway, he was shot by the FBI in Oregon, somewhere in Oregon in the snow, in his truck. And it was kind of a Ruby Ridge type situation, if you want to ask me. Now here's the thing. The reason why I'm talking about this is because, first of all, people say this was like 9 years ago. No, it was actually more like 9 years and 7 months. We're getting really close to 10-year anniversary of that event. And why is that important? A couple of reasons. The shooting death of Lavoy Finicum was the inspiration for Occupy the Getty. Because these occupations that were being done by these constitutional groups were being done in places that were irrelevant and insignificant and out in the middle of nowhere, and they were doing it with guns and all this other nonsense. Everything done the wrong way. Well, after they shot Lavoy, and I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit, I realized that that's an incredible waste. If all of that energy had gone into focusing on a location where it might have actually done some good, if all the cameras across the country were focused on, say, the Getty, as opposed to the Mole Howard Bird Sanctuary or some overpass out in the middle of New Mexico, wherever the heck it was, the Bundy Ranch. What the heck was that? If we had taken that power and got all those indignant people, those people that were wanting their rights in their country and their constitution back, if we could get them to focus on something that would actually make a difference, like the Getty, we could win this. And that was the inspiration for Occupy the Getty, and that's where the name came from, and that's when it happened, almost right after the death of Lavoy, probably within a week. So I can never forget that. And that has nothing to do with his politics or what he did. And I will say this, I do not believe he did anything violent. I mean, sure, if he was a Second Amendment type and believed he could carry guns around and this sort of thing legally, I'm sure he was within his rights. But why is any of this significant? Because today, Kash Patel, Donald Trump's director of the FBI, conveyed upon 4 FBI officers, agents, the highest award, the highest medal award that the FBI has for bravery or commendable service, whatever the heck it is, to these 4 officers. Kash Patel awarded this to these 4 officers. Now, again, 9 years. Now, first of all, if you listen to what the FBI is saying about what happened, they will tell you that Lavoy Finicum basically plowed into the back of a vehicle that contained FBI agents and essentially pinned one of them underneath his truck, whereupon the FBI fired upon him and killed him. This is obviously bullshit. The FBI laid in wait in the bushes off the road and shot him from off the road. Very cowardly type situation. The guy was driving in snow. All right, seriously, I really doubt that he was running over an agent. This is kind of like everything else. I mean, seriously, fuck the FBI. The same FBI that will not investigate under the Getty, the same FBI that has no balls to fuck with me, that as soon as I mention Robert Vesco, they go running away from my front door. They have nothing. They're real good at shooting unarmed people. Real good at that. Never let them in your house. Trust me. Douchebags. Anyway, so Kash Patel, Donald Trump. So who was president when Lavoy Finicum got shot? Let me think. Pretty sure that was Obama. Right? Obama. And I'm pretty sure that the Obama FBI, according to Trump, was absolutely corrupt. Now how did this action that was orchestrated by Obama suddenly so righteous that these 4 officers, after 9 years of denial and lies, need to get their highest award? Now, what are they getting awarded for? They're getting awarded for killing the spokesman of a militia. That's what they are calling this guy, a spokesman. He's a white guy, so what does that make him? That makes him a white supremacist militia leader, a.k.a. Nazi, a.k.a. whatever, a.k.a. the scourge of America. The ones you're supposed to be worried about, not the pedophiles, not the ones with the Star of David. Those guys, no. Anyway, so obviously, yeah, way back when, that event got me disgusted enough to do this. And here it is now, almost coming up on 10 years here come January. And I'm thinking, sure, we're getting pretty far. But look at how far. How do we measure how far we've come? Do we measure it in the amount of chemtrails they're dropping on it? Do we measure it in the close proximity of nuclear war, which we are creeping closer and closer to daily with Russia and China? Influx of illegals, increase of, surveillance, new pandemics. Anyway, point is that we've got these guys. They know we've got them. I'm, as I said, kind of shocked. And what really kind of shocks me is that Elon Musk, you look at this Elon Musk guy and he seems like kind of a goofy South African nerd who did right. I mean, it all seems that way. Even PayPal, which I've depended on. By the way, my PayPal is Stephen Kelly 714 at Yahoo. Please use it while I still have a chance, because I still need more to get my glasses. Seriously, I've got about half about what I need to get my glasses. I need some more. Anyway, so yeah, Elon. During the week after my show was published, several people published my show on Twitter. And were able to publish it. And then later on in the day, after everyone, maybe Twitter censors got a hold of what was going on, they realized that, holy crap, I'm telling everyone that Elon is Mafia and CIA and worst. Suddenly that wasn't allowed to go up. And then people that are dealing with Twitter and have accounts, various people that are running, occupy the getting accounts on Twitter, suddenly have to sign in, provide ID, create new passwords, all this crap, dealing with Google, dealing with all these big techno giants that suddenly feel that there are security issues going on that need to be addressed, sort of like Microsoft screwing with me right now, right before the show. They know what they're doing. This is what they've got. And I realize that to a lot of people, this is probably very intimidating. You're thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to shut me out of my phone. They're going to shut me out of my computer. They're going to make life difficult. And then I think that the big message that we're trying to convey here, the big weapon that we're trying to utilize, is the fact that our enemy is a mafia. And the only thing that really serves us with that is that we've been trained to think of mafias as groups, conglomerations, corporations of several gangsters, groups of gangsters that are working under one Don, capo, boss. You never know who that is right now, but we sure as hell have a pretty cool idea that it's Donald Trump. So it shouldn't be too hard to realize that when I say NSA, CIA, Mossad, FBI, yada, 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 all these other people, all these other huge corporations, they're all mafia. It's easier for us to understand that a company like Lockheed Martin, or Boeing, or take your pick, any one of these mega industrial military complex corporations, they're CIA. Of course they're CIA. Of course they're CIA. But it's not CIA now. We know it's Mafia. The Mafia owns it all. The Mafia controls it all. The Mafia wants to control you. The Mafia wants to be able to kill you when they decide. They want to have complete control over your health and your ability to reproduce and your ability to give them any sort of opposition. And I understand that that's scary. How many movies, how many books, how many damn stories have we heard about mafia hitmen, scary guys that come out of nowhere with pistols and shoot you in the head, kill your family, burn your house, kill your dog and your cat, whatever. Put body parts in your mouth, that kind of thing. All those nasty things you like to do. And you think, oh my God, scary. I got to tell you, it's like, I'll give you guys a little credit, okay? I'll give especially all of you that have joined this battle, because I perhaps take it for granted. I've been living with this crap for so long, this whole waiting for somebody to kill me, can't be killed crap, all that stuff for so long, just like everything else, the pain, the realization, the gravity of it all. I've been living with that for so long. I'm kind of cold and numb and used to it. And so I perhaps don't appreciate the risk you guys are taking, or how far you're putting yourselves out there, and you're ignoring the potential danger. And I tell you, don't worry about it. I've got you. You're in my circle. You're in my club. You're in my bubble. You're protected. The Lord has you, because he uses our right foot to stomp on the serpent, and no pain will come to you. It's true. Now, if you consider them screwing with your phone and screwing with your Twitter and screwing with your internet and stealing your codes, stealing your passwords, they did that to me, bastards. I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, bastards stole my passwords, seriously. But you know what? That's what was important to them. You can always change this stuff. It just doesn't matter. Information technology, access to whatever, that's really all they got. Now, when I look at Elon's friendly face, and I think about friendly Twitter and friendly Grok, first of all, it pisses me off. It pisses me off that Grok would lie about Intertel, lie about Elon, lie about the Mafia, lie about all of it, lie about me. Pisses me off. Acting naive, acting like it doesn't already know this stuff. How can it not know? It's too much. We think about the Getty, we think it's got all the money in the world. Where's the money on the surface of the world? Look at those corporations. And I know it's speculative, most of it. But come on, seriously? eBay, IBM, Amazon, take your pick. NVIDIA is probably not on the list because it's Taiwanese, but I doubt that this Mafia owns it, but who knows? But seriously, every single one of these companies is acting together in corporation to fuck us over and control us. That is Big Brother. When I see these bullshit cartoons And these ideas, when they say, oh, yes, Trump is going to destroy the deep state, the swamp. What the fuck is that? That is the mafia. It's not a bunch of idiots, corrupt politicians. No, it is a mafia. It is the mafia. It can survive the loss of these people. These people come and go, but the mafia only gets stronger. And they're getting ready for their coup, which is Palantir. That asshole Peter Thiel thinks that using these Lord of the Rings references makes him hip. Palantir, really? Palantir Stone? You're totally going with a concept that represents evil as a representative to your company, and Donald Trump's going to hand that over, and the military is going to hand over everything, billions and billions and billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions of dollars are being handed to Palantir, not just for surveillance on us, but for military AI systems, autonomous drones by the millions that will come after that. Each one of these has your name on one of them. We'll zoom in and find you when it's time to kill you. If you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in Russia, you'd realize that 85% of all the deaths on the battlefield right now are from drone. Palantir thinks it's going to control all that against us. Anyway, like I said, I've been constantly trying to come up with ways to deal with this, memes, ways to try to get it through people's heads, to educate them about the nature of this mafia and what's the best way to make it sink into people's head in such a way that the masses will start saying mafia instead of swamp, mafia instead of deep state, mafia instead of CIA, etc. But like I said, the work involved, the struggle. It's sometimes it's hard to keep your head down and your nose to the grindstone, whatever. It's hard. I have ideas for memes and things. I need to show lists. I need to show flowcharts. I need to have photos of all these people that we know that formed this Intertel, starting with Lucky Luciano and going down to various different presidents, those people, including Trump. And we definitely have to have Elon's face way up there. We have to show how high up he is in this entire wicked mafia. You can't tell me that what was or publicly is called the richest man in the world isn't part of this mafia. And his buddy is taking over everything. And you think Elon's not part of this? They all are. eBay's part of it. PayPal's part of it. Google's part of it. Microsoft is part of it. It's all part of it. Everything that we use, everything we depend on for this internet and our communications, it's all part of it, except Telegram, of course, which is why you got to connect to me on Telegram. The page, of course, is Occupy the Getty /Stephen D. Kelly. All right. I didn't really prepare a show because, like I said, most of tonight's show was basically to articulate the shock that I've been through and what I've been dealing with just when I realized just how important that this new information is and this new focus of attack. And yeah, calling Elon a pedo, calling Elon mafioso, calling it a pedo mafia, Intertel pedophile mafia. We need to get those words out there. It's the Intertel pedophile mafia. We need to keep the pedophile focus, and we need to make mafia the number 2 word after pedophile. And Intertel has to be the number 1 word. I'm sorry, I get that. It's got to be out there. People need to know the word Intertel, and they need to see pedophile and mafia right next to it. We need to make that everywhere. None of this bullshit out there in the whatever you want to call it, the crap that the mob needs to be saying Intertel, pedophile mafia, not swamp, not CIA, not Mossad, not Israel. Intertel, pedophile mafia. not Democrats. Anyway, people, I need you guys to do the work for me. Of course, obviously, that's why I'm asking you to help me out. And I understand that you guys go through this whole, well, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not so much a frustration. It's anger. I mean, the stuff that's going on right now just pisses me off, like this whole Cash Patel business in the FBI. Really, that's right in front of your face, Donald Trump. My God. I can't talk about Israel, obviously. We're not allowed to talk about it. The stuff they're doing in Europe, the way they're treating Christians, the way they're treating the Eastern Orthodox, the genocide that's going on, the blatant genocide. It's ridiculous. Listening to Donald Trump. I mean, my God, the guy is so retarded. He actually said that Crimea was about the size of Texas. Now, Crimea is about the size of, I don't know, Southern California. It's not that big. It's like it takes about 25 Crimeas to sort of fill up the map of Texas. I mean, my God, dude, you're that stupid. It's that bad. Unreal. And he wants a peace prize. My God. You know, he actually said he wants that peace prize so bad because he thinks if he can stop the killing, if he can stop those thousands of Ukrainians that are dying every day, that somehow that's going to get him into heaven. He's feeling old, and he knows that everyone knows he's a pedophile and a criminal. He's done these horrible, horrible things. But in his little brain, he doesn't think so. He says, yeah, people tell me I fall short of being a good guy. Really? Your own people? You have to listen to other people to tell you how fucked up you are, you killer of little children? You raper of little children? You fucking satanic piece of shit? You piece of shit. You absolute piece of garbage. There's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to get yourself in. I mean, I suppose if you were to call me up tomorrow and say, you know what, we're going to do this Getty thing, and guess what, I'm going to step aside and we're going to get this done, and any opposition you have, we're going to fix it, and I apologize, and I hope you can forgive me, and I want to rejoin the human family, and I'm willing to pay whatever price is necessary to make up for my transgressions. I will pray to Jesus every day, every night for forgiveness, and I will renounce my satanic past, my satanic ways, and I will become one of you, and I will be a witness to all of the crimes that require justice. That's the only way, Donald Trump, you're going to get into heaven. Okay? It's like the thief or the criminal that was on the cross next to Jesus, and he asked for forgiveness. One of them was mocking. You heard the story. One of them, there's two of them, one on either side. One of them mocked him. He said, if you're the Son of God, save us. And the other one said, shut up. You're not worthy. And he asked Jesus for forgiveness. And Jesus said he would dine with him that night. Anyway, the point is, it doesn't matter what you did. As long as you're sincere and you're willing to own up to what you did, face up to it, be judged. There is salvation. But no, Donald Trump, you're going about it the wrong way. And I would say by all that chemtrail shit that you're dumping on us right now, you're definitely not doing anything to stop the killing or stop the poisoning, that's for sure. You know, the opposition is getting really strong. I'm seeing more and more people saying Getty. Hell, Gene Decode is talking about the Getty. What the hell? That's more Trump crap. The Getty issue is becoming big. What they don't realize is that we're moving on to Intertel. And then there's Ali Carter talking shit. Ali Carter is so angry. I ignore Ali Carter. I don't say shit to Ali Carter, but yet her stupid people still talk shit about me. Says, Steve and his crew, when are they going to actually do something to rescue these kids? We're busy trying to rescue. They're not busy doing shit. If that bitch wanted to do something, she could go down to the LAPD and with the press and make a deposition. Force them to make a deposition. But we know the LAPD is corrupt. It always has been corrupt. LAPD has always been mafia. We all know. Hell, it's like that movie Chinatown with what's his face? You know, that actor that starred that movie, Jack Nicholson. Who cares? Anyway, point is, it's always been mafia. Always. Gavin Newsom, no different. The shit he's doing right now. Here's the other thing we need to do. Destroy Gavin Newsom. He is a pedo. He is a retard. My God. Here are graffiti that should go out there. Gavin can't read. The motherfucker can't read. How could you have a functional brain when you can't fucking read? And I don't care what you say, the motherfucker is a pedo. He's one of them. We need to call him every dirty name that we can. And we need to make the pedo label stick to him. And Trump. If you have to, put Gavin's picture and Trump's picture next to each other and put pedo on their forehead. Big red pedo, mark of the pedo. I want to see pictures of all of these people with pedo on their forehead, and I want a list of them, and I want them all listed as Intertel Mafia. I want logos of their corporations like Twitter and eBay and all of them. I want them all listed. I want to lay this out as much as possible. We need to educate people and show them just how bad the Intertel Mafia is. I mean, they're so good at showing how the so-called whatever you want to call it, Zionism or the Jews own all of the media. Well, guess what? That's Intertel Mafia. It's even bigger. We need to illustrate this, and we need to do it soon. We need to get it out there, and we need to hammer these people because they don't like what we're doing, and we need to do it more because that's the only way we know when we're doing something right. It's when they get upset. And I'll tell you, I have yet to pen my response to Grok. I want to write a scathing message to Grok, explain to Grok how Grok and his master Elon have always been the evil mafia that stole the technology that they grew wealthy on, that they used to control the world with. They're just common criminals. All of them. There's nothing good about them. That label needs to stick. And if it makes Elon mad, good. It needs to happen. We get all kicked off of Twitter. You know, what am I supposed to say? Leave Elon alone because we depend on him for our speaking? It's not like, well, I guess we can't talk about Trump on Truth Social. What the hell do we have left? We've got to do it, people. I don't care if you make stencils and travel around the street and paint this stuff on street corners and stickers. If they screw with our technology, get out on the street and do it. I've already got people coming to me that say, let's make banners, let's put them on the side of trailers, let's make car magnets and drive around the Getty. It's time, people. It's time. And if we're all afraid that we're going to get tickets or some mafioso is going to come and firebomb us or shoot us in the back of the head with a Silence 22, well, you know what? Guess what? If you are like that, then you don't have any business in our group, and you certainly don't deserve whatever security it is that you feel that you have. Because if we don't do what we should be doing, we're going to be judged. You don't get to go to heaven if you know this stuff and you don't endeavor to do something. I mean, obviously, that's salvation is knowledge. And the knowledge we're trying to spread is the secret to saving the world and redeeming humanity. You guys realize it's not just freeing the children and freeing the money and liberating the technology and stopping all of this evil. It's taking the evil and bringing it home. Making it stop is also bringing it back into the human family forever. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us special. That is what makes us more godlike than the enemy. That's our advantage over Satan. The fact that when the time comes, we will reach our hand out to Lilith, the final boss, and we'll say, yes, dear, it's over. It's time to come home. Welcome back. All is forgiven. Let's move. Let's go. It's over. You're with us again. That's really what these people want. And I know this sounds ridiculous because we just want to cut their heads off, of course. But like I said, even Donald Trump, he can find salvation if he's willing to do the right thing. And while he's alive and physically capable, the right thing is to support my mission in any way possible. And that includes all of you guys too. All right? All right. I'm not going to go much further, but I am going to remind you guys, though, yes, I do need a pair of glasses. And I know some people said, well, you got to go get some cheap ones someplace. I wish, I'm thinking I need something like if they fall down, they won't get scuffed. I need like some really ugly, dirty-looking military glasses with bumpers on them or something. I don't know. Anyway, such is life. Old age sucks. Anyway. But here I am. I'm going to keep doing the best I can for you guys. So please help me to continue. If anything, I don't see the ranks growing, and I think that has a lot to do with people just being afraid. But hopefully, we can turn that around. And let's stay at the tip of the spear with this Intertel thing, and this Getty thing. And remember, the Occupy the Getty mission is going to have its 10-year anniversary pretty soon. Just think about you're part of something that's been around for that long, that's growing and getting stronger. It hasn't been shut down. Sure, we are the ogre, the terrorist, the troublemakers here in the country, but we're not going away, and they know it. And I need you to help me get stronger, help this group get bigger and stronger. And most of all, I need you guys to help me come up with, new ways of getting the message out there. New memes. I know a lot of you are doing a lot of great work on the memes, obviously. But some of this stuff I realize it's going to take some effort. It's going to take some, compiling. Okay? That's rough. So, hopefully, you guys will help me out. I know you got some videos, but those of you that do the memes and the videos, that's what we want right now. We want to really hit home with this Mafia stuff. I know it's coming out. I mean, it's like everybody knows it. Like Roy Cohn and Trump's connection to Atlantic City and the Mafia stuff. Between the Mafia and the pedophilia, that's enough to sink Trump. And Trump has the power to kill us all. But at the same time, we have to be lumping Elon in there because he is a weak link. And he's going to be pushing Trump's replacement, J.D. Vance, who is a Peter Thiel appointee. So yeah, J.D., Peter Thiel, and Musk, especially Musk. They need to be targeted hard with the Intertel Mafia accusations. And the fact that all of their technology that they used to get all that money, all the money that CIA used to fund all of these operations, all of them, it's all stolen. It's all tainted. It's all Jeffrey Epstein financier. It comes from the bank of Jeffrey Epstein. All of that CIA dirty Mafia money comes from the bank of Jeffrey Epstein. That's Intertel. When we talk about Jeffrey Epstein, we got to refer to him as the bank of Intertel. Okay? He is the bank. He's not just a pedophile. He is the bank of Intertel. And he still is. Very, very important for you guys to get used to that. All right, like I said, please help me out with the PayPal. Of course, Stephen Kelly74 at yahoo.com, StevenKelley. Also, please join the group on Telegram. If you need anything whatsoever, you want to talk to me about doing interviews, I'm going to be doing a fun one with Victor Hugo here on Monday morning. Anytime I can talk right now is important. It's like I'm so pissed off at David Farman. He's the only guy that would put me on stage. But he'll have Kerry Cassidy and these other losers, these satanic losers. But no, he won't have me up there because you know what? I don't sell anything. I don't make him any money. Now, is that because you guys don't come to his stupid events to see me? Probably has a lot to do with it. If he was making money on ticket sales just from people that wanted to see me, that'd be a big deal. If you guys were willing to actually show up and fill up a room to see me, that'd be a big deal. But unfortunately, nobody's going to put me on stage until you guys are willing to do that. And unfortunately, this whole business with making me famous and all that's part of what we got to do. Pain in the ass. Anyway. All right, people, once again, thank you for all your hard work. Love you all, you know that. And if you need anything, you need healing, anything like that whatsoever, again, law17god@aol.com. Send me an email. Okay? And if you need something else, well, email me if you can, and we'll try to work it out. All right, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in the group, talking to you soon. Obviously, let's see you next week, God willing. And take your lysine. We're getting dosed right now, so for sure, make sure your family and all your friends take lysine. I think we're gonna be needing it. I'll see y'all soon. I'll see you guys next week. Okay. Once again, my name is Stephen D. Kelly, and this is Truth Cat Radio. Well, this is the Stephen D. Kelly Show at Truth Cat Radio, and we are www.truthcatradio.com. The one and only Mr. Kitten's still hanging in there. Oh my God, I'm so scared. I just do not want to face the day that he becomes a legend and not a house cat. You know what I mean? Such is life. There's so many harsh things that we have to deal with in this reality. I'm anxious to move on to one quite a bit less harsh. I hope you understand that that's what we should be all looking forward to. All right, everybody. Once again, good night. God bless. Adios. And goodbye.